Europe and China and the intertwinement between those two. Look, the reason Europe has become weaker is because they've deindustrialized. And why have they deindustrialized? Because they pursued a green energy agenda following the lead of the Biden administration, and that necessarily empowers China and Russia. We need to acknowledge that it's our decisions that are making these countries stronger. We need to fix that, not whine at countries that have 10 million people.
Or people just like cheap stuff no matter where they live, right? So and they look for cheaper providers.
Well, they'd love to have cheap energy in Europe, and they don't have it because of the policies of the green energy lobby.
But people do love cheap stuff. And it is not a secret, Aila Wang, with the new federal state of China, that we get stuff cheaper from China than in many respects than we can make it here. Forget about what China's doing. And I mean, look, I don't want to forget, but forget about what China's doing. We're killing ourselves here. And sometimes I wonder, like, how do we even focus on China yet? We got to get our own house in order, Aila.
With all of the issues that we've already observed in this country, I think business owner does have a very, a narrow path in strengthening its own business and expanding, its operations. To be honest, in China, it's the same. But the difference is that in China, business owners use bribery, to expand their paths, so that some of the business owners were able to expand their operations or able to profit from their own business. But that's the difference in the United States. The problem here today is that all of the cheap goods that people like and people purchase in supermarkets today and that were produced in China, that was on the sacrificing, of all of these unpaid laborers and forced labor. Some of them might even, be living in Xinjiang concentration camps as well. And so if we look at that, on the one hand, that we want to be politically correct. We want to be taking more actions against the Xinjiang concentration camp, against the massacre that the CCP had committed. On the other hand, we have been importing these cheap goods, from China, and that will also strengthen CCP's ability to, to expand its powers and to expand its factories to have more unpaid laborers and underage laborers. So I think, overall, I think decoupling is still very essential on making effective policies by knowing, what the CCP has been doing to its own citizens was also very important, because it was not the only, it's not an easy solution just to move factories from China to United States. It's also to understand the logic and the tactics of the Chinese Communist Party. They have been implementing against the United States for decades, and they've managed to do that. And that was for a reason, because CCP understands the system of the United States. They've already found weak points and utilized these weak points to conduct a fake economy against this country.
Yeah.